Peace and blessings. Once again, we have this moment to join or gather here at the noonday hour. And of course, as always, I'd like to bring you greetings on behalf of the president of the National Alumni Association, as well as the president of the university, president of the National Alumni Association, that being Mr. Jerry Redmond, and the president of the university, Dr. Gerald Briggs. And my name, of course, is Reverend Anthony J. Brownlow, and I am the National Chaplain. Well, folks, we're going to dive right into the subject area or subject matter. And of course, this week's topic is, can you see beyond the clouds? Can you see beyond the clouds? Jeremiah, the 33rd chapter, the 3rd verse. And so, folks, the text reads as follows. Call to me, and I will answer you, and will tell you great and hidden things that you have not known. Again, the 3rd verse of the 33rd chapter of the book of Jeremiah. Call to me, and I will answer you, and will tell you great and hidden things that you have not known. Well, folks, I don't know what season you are currently in or are just coming out of. But I do, want you to use your divine imagination. And if you've ever flown in an airplane, and so we're going to solicit the assistance of the aeronautics industry. If you've ever flown in an airplane, you've gone through some clouds where you couldn't see anything. And so, folks, it is real interesting to have that experience. There can be some uneasiness associated with it as well. But when the plane gets ready to land and there's low visibility, the pilots reach out to the tower and they make a request, or they inform the tower that they're going to do an instrumentation landing. And so, of course, I wasn't very familiar with this because I'm not in aeronautics. And so what it actually is it's a two-way communication component that happens. There is the ground-based system communicating with the airborne system, right, to get the plane safely on the ground. And folks, when I thought about can you see beyond the clouds, and just reflecting in my time of devotion and prayer, this example hit my spirit that during a plane's landing, because I've been in one of the situations, when the pilot cannot see or has low visibility, he or she or pilots, they will reach out to the tower and establish that they need to do instrumentation landing. And folks, this back and forth communication actually gets them right to the runway. And in fact, the communication is so effective, it promotes or it keeps giving information and let them know as they are descending how they are vertically as well as horizontally, right? And they safely get to the ground. Well, and folks, that's not the only thing, because if you've ever flown into Hartsfield-Jackson in Atlanta or into Denver International airports, well, folks, they have 2 runways. Both airports have runways that are major distances away from the respective airports. And so I remember my first time landing in Denver and thinking, why is it taking so long to taxi to the airport? It was because this runway was so far away from the airport. And that is almost in partnership with the low visibility component, right? They land so far away, particularly when the weather is not the best, when low visibility, so as to decrease the chances of having a tragedy of sort, right? And so, folks, I want us to think when we need to see beyond the clouds, that we need to take this practice and apply it in our walk with God. We need to increase our communication with the divine tower so that the God we serve can safely get us to the place that we need to get to. But not only that, folks, we also need to come to appreciate that just because it's taken a little longer than we anticipated, what God has done is God has put us or positioned us a little where we had to take the longer route because that's where it's safer. Just like at that airport, with that runway being far away or further away from the airport, so that we can take all of the precautionary measures to get the plane down and the people safely to their particular destination. And folks, that's all I had for you today. I just want you to keep in the forefront of your thoughts, to use your instrumentation landing system when the clouds are fogging up your particular view. And as opposed to trying to manually land or to deal with your particular situation alone, increase your communication with the divine tower, and that being the God we serve. Because listen, in the text, it literally says they called to God, right? And so, isn't it ironic that the pilots of a plane call to the tower? And so, I thought that that was a wonderful analogy or parallel that we need to remember when we can't see, when our view is obstructed, to call to the tower, the divine tower, so that God can safely get to us on the other side of whatever storm we're confronted by. And trust and be patient that God is positioning us in a safe space by going the longer route to get to our final destination. So, folks, that being said, we will prepare our hearts and minds for a word of prayer. God, we bless you and we thank you for getting us beyond the clouds where our visions have been obstructed. And sometimes, what does that look like, God? That may be an emotional concern. That might be a physical, tangible concern. But Lord, what we do understand and recognize is that in those hours, we need to increase our communication with you so that you can be the guiding light in and around that particular season. And Lord, that you are a comforter and that you have the forethought to take us the longer route to make sure that we safely arrive at our destination. And so, God, we are grateful that we've had this time together. We're thankful for all of those who have joined us. We're grateful for what you're doing in all of our individual and collective lives. And God, be a blessing to those who are in attendance right now, as well as those who will view this uh, prayer and meditation at a later hour. Lord, there is unrest in the land. There is a heavy dose of anxiety. Folks, there are a lot of folks, Lord, there are a lot of folks losing their jobs. The dynamics of our country is shifting tremendously. And so, in this season, Lord, when we have plenty of questions and we lack answers, Lord, oh, will you slip or dive into our situation? And God, will you be the divine tower we know you to be and communicate with us heavily to get us to our safe destination on the other side of all of this anxiety, on the other side of all of this frustration and disappointment, Lord. And God, we bless your name. Amen. Well, folks, it has been good to be here at the noonday hour with each of you. We're grateful that you have paused and saw fit to create a space and time to worship the God we serve. And so, as always, we ask that you keep asking, that you keep seeking, and that you keep knocking, because the God we serve does not have a deaf ear to your particular concern. That being said, we look forward to seeing you right back here, same place, same time. And know that you can see beyond the clouds when you increase your communication with the divine tower, and that being the God that we love and serve. Be blessed.